Melissa. All right, so can you see them on my screen? So I blew them up here. I gotta be able to get it that box. So, all right, so it says, read the summary of the scene written by a student. Remember, a play or a drama, you read it just like a fictional story, but it doesn't have a lot of the fluff stuff, so it's easier. Everything is what the character says and does, or all the characters. Okay, so you just focus on that stuff. So everything's important in there. Finn, Maya, and Zelda met in the cafeteria after school. Finn has saved Maya and Zelda seats. Maya explains that she is happy to sit away from Andy and Sue because they like to brag about themselves. But then Maya spends the whole scene bragging about her family's accomplishment. Ay, right? We all know somebody like this. Which sentence in the student's summary is unnecessary? So which one don't we need? The answer is 2. Finn has saved Maya and Zelda's seats. Why don't we need that? Why is that not important? What's 1, 3, and 4? Why are 1, 3, and 4 so important? So 1 says Finn, Maya, and Zelda meet in the cafeteria after school. Think about that plot diagram. What part of the plot diagram is this?
The exposition.
Why do you say the exposition?
Because it reveals the setting.
It does. Can you guys see my screen?
No.
Oh, well, that's not good. Hello. All of a sudden I realized I wasn't sharing. I'm sorry. So yes, it is. It's the setting. So is the setting important to a story? Yes. So we need to have 1 in there because remember the question says, which one is not important to the story? Okay. If we look at 3, Maya explains that she is happy to sit far away from Andy and Sue because they like to brag about themselves. What part of the story would that be? Why is that one important to our story?
It's the conflict.
Good for you, Morgan. Thank you, Morgan. It is. It's the problem in the story. It's the conflict. You have to have a conflict. Number 4, but then Maya spends the whole scene bragging about her family's accomplishments. Morgan, hold your thoughts. Who am I going to pick on? Nate, why is number 4 important? Type it in the chat box. Everybody type it in the chat box. Why is number 4 so important? Thank you, Melissa. What part of the story is it? What part of the plot? Remember, the plot is the whole story. Think of your plot diagram. Okay. I haven't heard from everybody. Why is number 4 so important to our story? What part would that fall into on a plot diagram? If I was going to diagram this story, where would I put this? Yeah, it's in that rising action. All those different events lead up to that climax, don't they? Is Finn saved Maya and Zelda seats? Is that part of a plot diagram? even if you didn't say the rising action, if you said it was the climax, or you said that it was an event in the story, and it is an event, an important one, okay? If you said that it was part of the conflict, those are all parts that a plot has to have, that a story has to have. Do we have to have Finn saved Maya and Zelda's seats? Yes or no? I need everybody, yes or no. So it's important that we know that Maya saved, or that Finn saved seats for Maya and Zelda. That's life-changing in the story. No, we do not need to know that. That's not important that he saved the seats. It's important that they're together, and we know this because they all meet up in the cafeteria. It's already given us our setting. We don't need to know that he saved seats. That's just additional information that the author shared with us. Where the other three are all part of that plot. So you have to have them. Okay, and think about a summary. Remember, a summary has to have a beginning, middle, and end. Just like you learn in elementary school, beginning, middle, and end of a story. Now we call them exposition, climax, and resolution. Have to have those. Okay, so when you're taking your test and you have that lovely question about a summary, that's when you draw this lovely little chart. Do you guys remember this from the beginning of the school year? And we do beginning, middle, and end. Do you guys remember this? Yes or no? Okay, some of you are saying yes, somebody said. So then when you have your choices, say there's only two choices, you get to choose between two things. If you draw this out and you read your answers, you can check off, oh, that answer has a beginning and it talks about the beginning of the story. That answer choice talks about the middle. Oh, but it didn't talk about the end. So it can't be that one. A summary has to have a beginning, middle, and end to it. Oh, this one here has the beginning, there's the middle. Oh, there it talks about the end. So that's your choice. So when you get one of those questions about summary, what's the best summary for the story? And it gives you those longer choices that you have to read through. Draw a little box. Check them off. Does it have the beginning, middle, and end? If it doesn't have all three pieces, it's not a summary. It's only part. Sorry, Justin, if I'm boring you. Okay. All right, I gotta go down here and change this so I can get to the second question. Let me see what was, okay, question 2, everybody did relatively well on, so I'm skipping that one. Question 3, we struggled. Which of these conclusions about Maya is supported by the stage directions in paragraph 5, 9, and 11? So in paragraph 5, 9, and 11, oops, I'm on the wrong story here. 5 says cutting her off. So she cuts somebody off, she interrupts them, right? 9 says barely paying attention as she sorts through photos on her phone. And 11 says interrupting after reading a text message on her phone screen. So what tells us, it says, which of these conclusions about Mia is supported by the stage directions? I just read you the stage directions. So what do we learn about her just reading those stage directions? Mia is self-centered and distracted by her access to technology. She is self-centered. Does she care about anybody else? Yes? No? No. All she talked about the entire play was about her and her family. Okay? So Maya is aware of her own faults? No. Maya is from an era when people have little interest in schoolmates or family? No, that has nothing whatsoever to do with the story. Maya is well-informed and connected friend due to her access to technology. Well, we know she's connected because she's on her phone instead of paying attention to her friends, but that doesn't tell us anything about her. Here, because it's asking about that characterization. Which of these conclusions about Maya is supported by the stage directions? What do we know about her as a person? She's self-centered and very distracted. All right, the other one, let's see here. I want to do number 5, and then I'll let you guys go. Based on the details from Maya's dialogue, the reader can infer that. All right, so there's a couple of things going on here. Based on Maya's dialogue, so what the character is saying, remember, dialogue is that conversation between characters. Dialogue, so that's what she's saying. Think of steel. So what a character says and does is important. And then the reader can infer. So it's not going to give you an exact answer. It's going to, you have to guess. What can we infer based on the evidence that they're giving us? Maya is likely to become a fashion model. Maya's brother is very popular at school. Maya's mother participates in local events. Maya will ask her dad to adopt an animal. Well, the answer is Maya's mother participates in local events. But a lot of you picked number 2. Why? Maya's brother is very popular at school. Is he popular? Yes? No? I need some answers, guys. Let's go. Come on. We're almost done. Hang in there. Yes or no? Is Maya's brother popular? Yes or no? You guys are saying no, most of you. Justin, why is he not popular? How do you know he's not popular? Remember, you're making an inference. What do we know about her brother? I gotta find my chat box. Oops. My chat box disappeared. What do we know about Maya's brother? Oh, I'm not sharing my screen again, am I? You guys got to say something to me. I keep forgetting I went back to the whiteboard. Sorry. Nice, Morgan. Thank you. What do we know about Maya's brother in the story? You guys all said he's not popular, but yet a lot of you got that answer wrong. What did her brother, what was she talking about with her brother? What did her brother have to do? Or where was he going? Even if you went to the passage and you started counting up all the things Maya talks about with her mom, there's more things she talks about with her mom than anybody else. She only says one thing about her brother. And that her brother is going to escort one of the prom queens, or is it the prom queen itself herself, or is it one of the runner-ups or whatever, someone who